Welcome, STEMgineers, to STEM to Stern, the podcast where curiosity meets critical thinking. Join Chauntée and Jake as they discuss STEM topics that spark debate and exploration.
Welcome, everyone, to STEM to Stern. I'm Jake.
Chauntée.
And today, we're here to ask the question, can tiny robots heal your body?
Okay, so have you seen Big Hero 6?
I have.
Okay, Baymax,
I love
those tiny
Baymax.
little microbots that he has?
Yeah, the little spider thingies,
Yes.
and they join together.
Yes. Okay, so we're sort of going to talk about the real application of that. So there are scientists that are currently doing this research for nanobots, which you know what a nanobot is?
Yeah, it's like a little, like the tiny little engineered robot.
Teeny tiny.
Talking like, what was that, like a nanometer's like a billionth of a meter?
Correct. A billionth of a meter, so teeny tiny. The idea is, can we find or create these nanobots that are able to go into like your bloodstream or into your body to help heal issues like cancer or sickle cell and things like that? So can it go in and help cure it? So like, in Black Panther, the vibranium and the idea of how quickly things can heal people. So, when they were injured, they went into the lab. She's using vibranium to heal these people that fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea that is, and it's not, obviously that's science fiction, but this is that concept of like, could this really be a thing? Question mark?
That'd be really cool, because not only, I mean, I guess, so I the way I sort of imagine this in my head is like, you could use nanobots to like try to cure something and then get the nanobots out of your body once it's done its job. Or what if we just all just had nanobots in our bodies all the time that were constantly helping us to be healthy?
That's a cool idea. There is obviously like some concerns that have to do with that, because first and foremost, all of our bodies react and act differently, right?
True.
So if we put something into our body, there is a lot of concern about toxicity, how our bodies will react to that, because it's a foreign object that's going into us.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Will your body reject it?
Right.
And cause more problems.
Exactly. And also, again, like getting into the bloodstream, what if something happens in there and it reacts differently than what we were hoping for, and it causes more issue? We also obviously need to consider the fact that our bodies are scientifically made to be able to like process bacteria and things, not fully, but we do have a way our body's fighting infections. If we added robots and things into us, these nano robots, right, the nanotech, would that actually negatively impact that?
I feel like I'm channeling Jurassic Park right now.
Yes.
And that whole scene where like Jeff Goldblum's like, your scientists were more concerned about whether or not they could, and they were less concerned about whether or not they should.
That is such a great question.
Yeah, I mean, like,
should we?
Yeah, like, and especially like, if you created nanobots that like self-replicated, like that's where we're getting to like a gray goo scenario. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yes.
It's like the idea, like if we make nanobots that self-replicate and the switch to turn them off doesn't work,
then
just got to keep replicating and like, and what you were saying before about how our bodies like are in such like a delicate balance. Like we've had billions of years of evolution to create these bodies, and then all of a sudden we introduce something like nanobots to it,
that starts to be scary a little.
Yeah.
And you think about our bodies actually, like there are ways that our bodies will react to things. And if we have these positive and negative things within us that are like fighting against each other to keep things in balance, who's to say that nanotech comes in and our body doesn't want to just immediately fight it and then end up killing or, breaking it down in a way that is not good for us.
Exactly. So we have to be.
Yeah.
So this makes me think that when scientists do find a way of implementing this in the future, they're probably going to start off with a form of nanobot where like it naturally decays over a certain amount of time. So we know that it's not going to cause any unwanted side effects.
Correct. The last problem, though, before we wrap up on this, is that there are cost effectiveness that we have to consider as well. Just like anything that we do, the cost of this is so high that people are not going to be able to afford it.
That's a good point.
Like, yeah, we're glad that we can invent these things and come up with these things, but then how are we able to really use them if we don't have a more like cost-effective way of doing it? So obviously that's always a consideration when it comes to the advancement in technology is how much does it cost to create these tiny things that are able to do these things? And also, how are the nanobots able to be actually used without it just being ridiculous in cost? Which medical field is expensive as it is. So
we have to make things practical so they work for not only just like, the people who can afford those kind of treatments, but for all humanity.
Everyone. Correct. So in the comments, let us know how you feel about nanotech. Is there anything that you've read on or heard about that you are like, wow, that's a really cool concept, or that makes you want to be like, hold up, pause, pump the brakes?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know in the comments. Till next time.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to STEM to Stern. We hope today's episode got you thinking. If you enjoyed the discussion, subscribe and share it with others. And be sure to check out our show notes for free resources and links that go along with today's episode. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring, STEM engineers.